So when you say selective on the people you surround yourself with, what does that mean specifically? Are you saying to select personality types that are more similar to yours, or more like, what do you mean by kind of selecting that group, and how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think if we just take a bird's eye view, if let's say we're talking about whatever subject matter, right? And it's something I'm passionate about, and I've got 20 people to my right and 20 people to my left. The 20 people to my right, for argument's sake, think I'm talking at them, or I'm demeaning, or I'm trying to tell them what to do, or that I know the answer, kind of thing. And that's very important, because you need those people to balance you out. You need those people to tell you when you're coming off a little wrong, right? When you're a little bit more talking down to them rather than talking with them, right? And that's important, right? Tailoring the message is always huge, and you want to be respectful and positive. And I think, I always try to do that. Although my passion doesn't allow me to sometimes. Sometimes it overextends itself. So then the flip side is you've got the 20 people that, I'll call it selectively, your friends, your family, often the people you spend the most time with, are almost understanding the message for what it is and don't necessarily need to ask. Or if they don't understand it, they take the time to ask, rather than to automatically assume that you're talking down to them or whatever the case is. So I found it's important that, and really this is just an umbrella question for humanity, right? I think we all just want to be understood in some way. And I think that it's maybe more important for me as I look at some of my priorities and how to be the best version of myself. I think part of that for me is selecting the right people to surround yourself with. Sometimes that's hardworking people, personality types, and sometimes it's just people who understand your message, and that they help you just as much as the people who don't understand your message refine that, and I think that's important, or at least has been for me. So
I agree with that. And I like how you said, in an attempt to become the ideal version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all attempting to do. And there's comfort that comes with that, and there's discomfort that comes with that. And I think we're each day just trying to figure out the balance between the two. I've got people in my circle and my group of friends or coworkers that I spend time with that it's like, I have to think, is this person good for me or not? Not do they make me comfortable or not? And some of the times it's like, man, every time I talk to this person, they don't understand what I'm saying. But if every time I talk to them, they don't understand what I'm saying, and that forces me to improve the way I communicate my message, it's actually good to have this person in my life, right? They're not just saying, oh, Austin, you're just this overpassionate wannabe. They're saying, hey man, when you say it like this, it kind of makes me feel this way. And I'm like, oh wow, I get to break down the conversation itself and how it's impacting someone. This is a positive person in my life.
100%.
Right? Yeah. Now, if it's one of those other ones, it's just like, oh, you're just some know-it-all. You don't know crap, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're not even receptive or open to anything. Maybe that is someone that's like, all right, I don't really need to spend much time with that individual. But we're each day to day just trying to figure out what is the best balance for ourselves. And I've just found a benefit of, Austin, stop trying to look for the comfortable balance and just look for the effect. What is the effect that you're looking for? It doesn't have a positive or negative. Like it's not a good or bad. It's a are you learning from this? Yes or not? It's always good. It may make you feel bad, but it's always good.
I like that too. And I apologize, I'm going to interrupt you there real quick, because it's a developing thing, right? Like I've had moments in my life where I had no issues with that, right? I was just a positive individual who, for some reason, for that span of time, that's how I came off. Maybe there was something in my chemistry. Maybe there was just a series of good things happening in my life that changed my messaging around or something like that. And I find that really interesting to kind of break down. But then there's times in your life where you just, no matter how hard you try, it just doesn't work, right? And it's funny because I feel like I'm in one of those times too, where things just aren't quite clicking like you want them to. And you're like, okay, well, there's some core value things here that need to be readjusted. And I think that as long as you're open to having both people or both types of people in your life, the people that understand you and the people that don't, I think that ultimately that's the consistency you need to push through the good times and the bad times, right? So.
And I think it kind of ties into kind of one of the past videos that we made. I might have been in the last video about just that results-based mindset, because I think, man, I know now, like even in the past couple of days, I've had just some moments where I've felt the emotion start bubbling up. And I'm like, Austin, wait, like the result, like what is the result you want? Don't let this all out, because this isn't thinking about the result you want. It's thinking about right now. It's thinking about just the emotional feeling and then the emotional release right now, which would feel good in the moment, but cause long-term destruction. So like just always knowing and thinking about what is the result? What is the result? As those emotions are bubbling up and hitting you, like, what? Nope, shut up, emotions.
Yeah.
I need the result. Like there's a result that I'm looking for, and if it's to learn and grow in the situation, then that's what's going to happen until you let those emotions overbubble, and then
yeah.
So just trying to managing your emotions, I found helps in that.
That's a good one. And I find that's in my experience, my family, most importantly, my family, who are a lot of passionate individuals. Just that's one of the key things, right? It's just keeping your emotions. I don't want to say in check, because I don't know if in check is the right word for that, but maybe just understanding your emotions for what they are, and how to deal with that the best way. You know, I think that's important.
And I've had certain, and this has also happened recently too, with just some conversations I've had when it comes to misunderstandings, because they do happen. Where I go to bed and I'm like praying, like, I really hope that person understood the message that I was trying to deliver, because I don't think they did. And I don't think I said it 100% correctly. I just didn't know how to say it any other way. And I'm just praying, like, please, I've gotten that message the way I intended it, because if you didn't, then I would see me as an asshole right now too. So I'm just praying. And a lot of times the next day comes and they're just like, hey man, I thought about what you said, and there's some points where I was on the edge, but no, I agree with this and that. And I'm like, whoo, all right. Farmer, cut it. I was on the edge, buddy. I was on the edge. Yeah. But, I think at the end of the day, what also helps is when people know that you care about them. It opens the door for you to be a little bit more expressive and what we're calling passionate. I love that. Because they know at the end of the day, I know this person cares about me. I know they do. You can count on that. Then they don't have to try to read between the lines and find the areas where you're doing damage. They're actually looking for areas that you're not doing damage, where there's something positive. It's like, I know this person loves me and cares about me. There's a positive message in here somewhere. I'm gonna find it. I know they're not a douche. Like, this is a great person. So building those relationships and building that so people understand how you feel about them really helps with the miscommunication in a lot of sense.
100%. And to close this out, I think one important factor is to know who to message or tailor your message to. Right? If it's family or friends, and odds are they know what you're going to get to, you can be a little bit more expressive, right? You can be a little bit more passionate. I think if you're in a boardroom of your daddy's golf buddies, it's probably not going to work as well.
Probably not the time.
It's probably not the time. So,
well said.
You just have to be self-aware. But yeah, I love everything you just said. Yeah,
that'll do it.
Elevate. Only obligation is to tell it straight.